community where a lot of girls knew that there are certain limitations. And the moment when you realize there is no real gender equality is probably back when you're a child. So for me especially, it was the moment when my dad, who is professional boxing coach, like he never told me that, come and I'll teach you boxing. It was never a thing. But then now that I grew up, he has his boxing studio and I'm very proud of him. But at the same time, he has lots of girls coming and boxing. And in one hand, I feel like it's a positive change that all of this is happening. But of course, on the other hand, maybe I feel a little bit sad because at the times of my childhood, there was no such thing. Has everything changed? I'm not sure. I think in Russia there is still a long way to go, and feminism still remains to be an F word, let's say, like a curse word. And now I live in Europe. Of course, I can see a big, tremendous difference because I'm ready to speak up. I'm not ashamed to say that I am a feminist, that I support women's rights as much as I support all the other minorities. And it's a paradox in a way that women are a majority that was for many years, let's say, a minority. And not a lot of people understand that or really empathize with that. But I support LGBTQ rights as much as I support women, as much as I support disabled people or people of different race. To me, it all comes on the same level. When I go to my home country, very often I speak to people and they say, oh, come on, you lived in Europe, now you became feminist. And I'm like, well, I was a feminist all my life. Maybe I just didn't have enough courage or I couldn't find the right word for what I really represent. And of course, it's not the only word that represents me. There are a lot of other words, but this is part of my personality. I truly believe that feminism is about choice, is about women doing whatever the hell they want, women staying at home if they choose to, women going to work. So I think that I did face a lot of challenges when speaking with my friends. I used to get really emotional because I'm an emotional person, because this topic, I hold it really close to my heart. But now I just understand that I don't want to push this subject on anyone, especially of the portrayal of feminism. Feminism is being portrayed as a lot of angry women who try to prove something. And in reality, it's just all we want is equality, all we want to be visible. And I think this is what this exhibition is exactly about. It's about visibility, it's about telling our stories and then letting people decide how it is. And from our stories there are a lot of facts, bare facts, when women say, well, we wanted to be police women, but there was no such a thing, or there was a 10% quota for women only. So those are bare examples, bare facts, and you cannot really argue with that. And from then on, we let people to decide on their own opinion and just to really engage into stories, because sometimes stories are the most powerful tool of understanding something.
Is there anything like physical violence or anything, or is it just usually verbal comments in Russia where you said you meet some resistance, or other feminists meet resistance to what they say and what they do?
I never experienced physical violence myself, but I know a lot of feminists who maybe they post a video and it receives comments like, I will break your legs for what you just posted. And that clearly shows that if community is acceptable, if community is open to things, at least you wouldn't leave such an angry comment. But the fact that people are so full of anger, I started my YouTube channel where I posted one video on feminism, and the amount of negative comments, of hate that I received from, sorry to say, it was from men, most of the comments, it was unimaginable. And my video didn't say anything against men, it just talked about who I am and why I'm doing this and why I think it's important. And that just made me think that how scary it is. Maybe people who say it straight to my face, I would respect them more than people who just leave all those angry comments, who, I don't know, offend me, who call me bad words, who say that I'm a feminist, I'm stupid, I'm ugly. And of course it makes you upset, but at this point I think I don't really allow anyone to get inside of here. because to me I'm really standing for the message itself and for the other women. And I know there are other women in other countries who really suffer from lack of education. They get paid like 3 times less than men. They suffer domestic violence, abuse. We all went through catcalling. If you ask every woman, and that's something that I had this conversation with my male friends who are rather educated, interesting men, and I told them, do you think your girlfriends or your friends, do you think they ever went through catcalling? And they said, no, we don't believe that every woman went through catcalling. And I said, please ask your women friends if they did, and I swear to you at least one woman went through something like this once in her life, but most likely more than just once. So this shows that we still need to work on acceptance, on perception of feminism, and hopefully it will change for better. That's something I really hope.